Hey everybody, it's SaskiaSketches, and today I'm explaining how to make a drawing that looks like an anime screenshot, I think. I'm also doing some fan art. It's gonna be a fun video. Let's go! First, I'll talk a little bit about what I'm actually drawing, and then I'll explain how I did it a little bit later. So, all of you that are interested in learning how to draw, an anime character and then making it look as if it comes from an actual anime, I'll have that a little bit later. But first, I wanted to geek over this YouTuber a little bit. Here I am drawing YOBGS with his favorite Pokemon Scraggy. YOBGS is a YouTuber that I found a little bit ago, I think a couple of months, and he reacted to a video of Jaded Animations, her Pokemon Nuzlocke video, and I love that video so much. So I love watching other people react to that video to like maybe learn a little bit more about it and stuff. It's such a good video, and I love seeing people like geek out over it too. Yeah, so eventually the YouTube algorithm recommended this video to me, and I was like, oh yeah, sure, I'll watch it. And then I thought that video was just so fun, and I thought that the way that YOBGS reacted to the animation was very different to what I normally see in reaction style videos. Not that I watch a lot of reaction videos, but it was really fun to see like a fresh take on it almost. And I watched a couple more of his videos, and I really enjoyed those, so I subscribed. And ever since, I've just been really enjoying his content. I just like watching the videos as they get uploaded. And whenever I watch a video, I just feel like I learn just a little bit more about, I don't know, the world or something. Like YOBGS is one of those guys, like that one uncle that you have, right? That has done pretty much everything. So, like, he's a world record speedrunner, a speedrun mod, he's been a radio DJ, he's got a psychology degree, he's been a sandwich artist, he's followed Bob Ross tutorials. Like, I thought only artists knew Bob Ross, but I guess we're wrong. And with all that, like, life experience, I guess, he's able to really add something to the original content, right? So it's not, like I said, it's not just like you're watching something with a friend, but it's like you're watching something with someone who's actually knowledgeable on said topics. Also, like, that he does a little bit of research beforehand, like the Corpse Husband video, I think. He read up on him a little bit, and so many other things. I see that frequently, and that's just very cool to me and interesting, and I feel like I'm actually getting something out of it when I'm watching these videos. And I know that YOBGS himself is a little bit insecure about maybe reaction stuff, and things, and I've heard him say that he thinks that maybe people don't really take him seriously because of it. And YOBGS, if you're watching this, I don't know, he might be at some point in time, I just want to tell you that you've got nothing to worry about, dude, because I really like your content, and I think it's very original and incredibly enjoyable, and you deserve all the followers in the world for it. So yeah, anyone who doesn't take you seriously clearly has not watched any of your videos. With that being said, I'm done fangirling, and I'll like explain a little bit more about how this digital art thing works, yeah? So when it comes to drawing anime screenshots, the hardest part is actually drawing the anime character itself. So if you've got any experience drawing anime characters, you can do this. It's literally just a couple buttons and layer styles and stuff. So yeah, the hardest part is definitely just, getting the style right and that kind of stuff. I've been drawing anime characters for Lord knows how long, so I feel pretty confident in my style and in drawing anime, because I've done it so much. So yeah, that's pretty easy, and once you get that done, that's the hardest part. So yeah, basically just, you know, anime. Big eyes, thin lines, you know, no line weight variation, that kind of stuff. You know, just learn the basic rules of anime and you should be fine. And then the next step is just, you know, do the line art, do the coloring, just, you know, add flat colors, and if you can pick from an anime screen cap, because that usually helps you get a feel for what kind of colors are used in anime. If you're not really familiar with anime, just, you know, grab a screen cap of a character that looks a little bit like the character you're trying to draw, or if you're drawing a specific character, just grab a screen cap of that specific character and just pick the colors and drop them into your own drawing. And then it's time for some cell shading. I can never pronounce that. It's cell shading, which is just shading without any gradients in between them. Just like what would you see with mine? There's hard edges between the shadow and the actual color, right? After you've done that, just add over a tone layer, and a tone layer is just a layer of a different color set to a lowered opacity. Just a full layer full of just one color, and just lower the opacity, or like set a layer style to multiply. Sometimes that works, but just lower the opacity, and it gives, I'm experimenting on screen with a couple different ones right now. It gives a different feel to your character. So the tone layer that I went with is, I just did a gradient. It doesn't have to be one flat color. I did a gradient for this one, so I did a yellow coming from the top right, and then a purple coming from the bottom left. And once you've got that figured out, a background is a really good idea. Usually you can just, you know, look at, just Google anime background and like take inspiration from that and see what kind of colors are used in it. But for this one, I used YOBGS's actual background that he has in his videos, and also the one that he has in the photograph, because that was easy to copy. And I just did a very flat painting, basically, of just very basic shapes and basic colors. It doesn't have to be pretty, it just has to be a background, right? Because the focus isn't going to be on the background anyway, it's going to be on the character. And then what I do is I duplicate that layer, and I lower the opacity to about half, and then I move the whole layer just slightly to like the top or the left or the right, and I make a that makes for a blurry effect, kind of, if that makes any sense. If you look at the background, it's kind of out of focus right now, and that's a cool trick to help with that. And usually with anime, you'll see too that the background isn't always perfectly in focus, because anime backgrounds are usually very detailed, and if you have your background completely in focus, everybody's going to look at the background, and that's not what you want the viewer to look at if you're watching anime and you're supposed to follow the protagonist around and stuff. You can also use a Gaussian blur for that, but I typically don't like to do that with painterly backgrounds, because it doesn't look great, right? Because it just blurs all the colors very softly, and if you do it like this, it will not just smudge everything around, but it will just, be the same shape and color, just like slightly moved up or slightly to the left, and then, at a lowered opacity, it will just blur the edges just a little bit instead of like smudge all the colors around. And after I got the background done, I usually like to just play around with a bit of gradients, or like add another tone layer, just, play around with it a little bit and see what makes for the best contrast and the best color scheme. Like, I think I changed the color of his shirt at one point because it wasn't really fitting the color scheme all that well. And I really like how his hair came out. I just added two gradients, like a darker one coming from the bottom and a lighter one from the top, and stuff like that really helps, just make it look more interesting. And don't be so afraid of making something that doesn't look completely anime, because that was what I would usually obsess over, like, oh, every little thing has to adhere to the anime rules, right? Just, don't be afraid to break some rules here and there if it will work better for the piece that you're making currently. it's really just, you know, have fun with it, right? And the next trick will make it look anime no matter what, so don't even worry about it. Did you guys see what I did? It's very quick. It's like blink and you'll miss it type of thing. But it's very easy. So what you do is you save your piece after you've done everything, right? You've done all your line work and your highlights and all the little things that you want to do. You save it as a PNG and you import it as a new layer. So just a new layer over top. And then what you do is you put a Gaussian blur over that layer. Like just a Gaussian blur at like 125 or something. That's how I usually do it. And then I turn the opacity way down to like 25, something like that. 20, 25, 30, somewhere in that range. And then it magically looks like anime. That's how it works. It's so crazy that it works so well, but that's how it works. And if you want to experiment with like layer styles a little bit, I think addition works quite well if you're making like a very bright scene, but that's it, and it's very easy. so one more time, just, you know, save as a PNG, import it as another layer, put a Gaussian blur over that layer, and then lower the layer's opacity to about 25%. And you're golden, my friends. That's an anime screenshot right there. And if you want, you can even add some subtitles. That also really helps to sell your anime screenshot. If you want to make it look really convincing, you could also keep like the same aspect ratio that anime uses, or you could have perhaps a composition that's very typical for anime, like maybe like a close-up of a face or something, and then like something in the background. It's, you know, you can also just look at your favorite anime and just, you know, look at their compositions and see how they position their characters on the screen, and then, you know, take a screenshot of that and like draw over it and draw your own character in the same position or something, right? And just take inspiration from those types of things. It's really cool and it's really fun. And that's everything that I have to say. So thank you guys so much for watching this video all the way to the end. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and subscribe to this YouTube channel for more art videos every single Friday. Have a great weekend, guys, and keep on sketching. Bye!